Hi guys, welcome to the channel of love. Okay, I've been doing some research. It's 11:11 and we are going to be talking about soulmates, I believe. But there's so much to kind of talk about, I think, but I'm not sure in what order we're going to talk. Okay, I have these blotches over my top that aren't really there like in real life. I can't see anything. It's clean on. Don't know what any reason why it'd be like that, but I don't know. I'm going to start with the Rider-Waite. I think we're going to be touching on Greek mythology today, talking with soulmates, and I want to talk about the power of Zeus. And if you if you actually Google or go to Wikipedia and check out the kind of definition stories regarding soulmates, you'll see that we were split because of our power. And it was a threat to the gods. It was like humans were going to take over the gods because they were more powerful. So the gods split us up, well, Zeus did, and basically tossed us, you could say maybe opposite ends of the earth, I don't know. Just in different locations. We're really just the other, just always searching for their missing half. Now, so, heartache. Very interesting, the articles I've been reading. And also it kind of brought me back to a book that I'm going to confess I did not return to my school, so I suppose I stole it. But I was so fascinated by it. It's called Ancient Greece. I don't even have much knowledge on Greece that I can give you straight away, but I have this draw towards it. We've got the rebirth, the death. So much talk at the moment about soulmates, divine masculine, divine feminine, this coming together, this third energy. And I think it's time we really have a look into this, just so we have a clearer understanding. The resurrection. Heartache, death, the resurrection. I'm getting more. We've got the Queen of Wands. We've got the Magician. Who's going to come out the other side? So that's really interesting. I'm talking about soulmates and a broken heart, and it's because the soul was split into two. And kind of, there you go, that's your mission for life, is to just feel this longing, this heartache, this missing. And when I've done the research, it speaks about how it got that bad that they were kind of dying, starving. Interesting, because we've been on health issues. Who's the other side? We don't know. That's interesting. Let's get one more row and see what comes. I say you don't know, but you do know because it's kind of gone within. We've got the Emperor, the Hermit, and the Hierophant. The Void. Where you go into? The two cups. Divine masculine, divine feminine energy. So we're really touching on soulmates here. Okay. Even though the soulmate card's not up. But what I'm reading, just by what I'm touching on, is I'm speaking about, I'm going to have to read you something, aren't I? Just to make a bit of sense. Okay, let's go. There's so many articles. When you actually put in Zeus and soulmates. In Greek mythology, there was a quote. According to Greek mythology, humans were originally created with 4 arms, 4 legs, and a head with 2 faces. Fearing their power, Zeus split them into 2 separate beings, forcing them to spend their lives in search for their other halves. This article says here the full story takes into account homosexual and heterosexual love. In the beginning, there were three parents, sun, moon, and earth. Each produced an offspring, round and otherwise like itself. From sun was produced the man, from earth the woman, from the moon, and I have to pronounce this right, androgyne. Each of these three was a double, one head with two facing, looking out in the opposite directions, 4 arms and legs and 2 sets of genitalia. They moved about on the earth with a great deal more freedom and power than humans do now, for they ran hand over hand and foot over foot at double speed. One day these fast, powerful but foolish creatures decided to scale Mount Olympus to attack the gods. What should the gods do to show the foolish humans the error of their ways? Should they shoot them down with thunderbolts? No, they decided too boring. They'd done that before to the giants. Besides, who would pour out libations and offer sacrifices to them if they destroyed their worshippers? They had to devise a new punishment. Zeus thought and thought. Finally, he had a brainstorm. Humans weren't a real threat, but they did need a dressing down. Their arrogance would be checked if they lost their speed, strength, and confidence. Zeus decided that if they were cut in half, they would be only half as fast and half as strong. Even better, it was a reusable plan. Should they act up again, he would repent the operation, leaving them with only 1 leg and 1 arm each. After he revealed his plan to his fellow Olympians, he asked Apollo to join him in putting it into effect. The king of the gods cut the man-man, woman-woman, and man-woman creatures in half, and Apollo made the necessary repairs. The face previously facing out, Apollo turned inward. Then he gathered all the skin together like a purse, with an opening in the middle as a reminder of mankind of his earlier state. I think they're stating that's the navel. After the surgery, the half creatures ran around frantically looking for their other halves, seeking them out, embracing them, and trying to join together again. Unable to join, the creatures despaired and began to starve to death in their sorrow. Zeus, again mindful of its need for worship, decided something must be done to recharge the creature's spirit. So he instructed Apollo to create a means to rejoin temporarily. This Apollo did by turning the genitals to the belly side of the body. Before mankind had procreated by dropping seed on the ground, this new system created an interesting new means of producing offspring. The creatures who had been double women before naturally sought out women. Those who had been androgynous sought out members of the opposite gender, and those who had been double men sought out the company of men, and not simply for intercourse, but so they could become whole again by being rejoined with their soulmates. Interesting. So, I think we should just nip over to Wikipedia quickly. Let's have a look. A soulmate is a person with whom one has a feeling of deep or natural affinity. This may involve similarity, love, romance, platonic relationships, comfort, intimacy, sexuality, sexual activity, spirituality, compatibility, and trust. Now, Plato. Plato has, how do I pronounce this? Aristophanes present a story about soulmates. Aristophanes states that humans originally had 4 arms, 4 legs, and a single head made of 2 faces. He continues that there were 3 genders, man, woman, and the androgynous. These spellings, these pronunciations, killing me. Each with 2 sets of genitalia, with the androgynous having both male and female genitalia. The men were children of the sun, the women were children of the earth, and the androgynous were children of the moon, which was born of the sun and the earth. It is said that humans had great strength at the time and threatened to conquer the gods. The gods were then faced with the prospect of destroying the humans with lightning, as they had done with the Titans, but then that would lose the tributes given to the gods by the humans. Zeus developed a creative solution by splitting humans in half as punishment for humanity's pride and doubling the number of humans who would give tribute to the gods. These split humans were in utter misery to the point where they would not eat and would perish, so Apollo had sewn them up and reconstituted their bodies, with the navel being the only remnant harkening back to their original form. Each human would then only have one set of genitalia and would forever long for her other half, the other half of her soul. It is said that when the two find each other, there is an unspoken understanding of one another, and that they feel unified and would lie with each other in unity and would know no greater joy than that. Okay. It does just state here that later theories postulate that the soul split into separate genders, perhaps because they incurred karma while playing around on the earth, or separation from God over a number of reincarnations. Each half seeks the other. When all karmic debt is purged, the two will fuse back together and return to the ultimate. The only thing I pick up from that is how many lives, past lives, and they do say that the connection is maybe a past life connection, meaning that you've come together so many times to come together. You found each other, or maybe you didn't find each other, but you were searching every lifetime. And I think that when you awaken to the soulmate concept, I think then this is your lifetime to awaken. It's kind of like this is when you will find each other. But there's a lot of talk out there, soulmates, and the feminines have kind of woken up to this concept. So if this was the case, and Zeus cut us in half and sent our other half packing off somewhere else, and our mission was to long and just to seek for each other for unity, how does that happen? And what happens because we have amnesia? We're not even told about this. We're not told that this happened unless you do research and you're into Greek mythology and you can see maybe how that could be if you can open your mind up, which is what we're really doing. It's anyway, how are we going to do this reading? I don't know. So we have the heartache here. Now, I'm going to say that, they said it was a 3. So it was the earth, the moon, and the sun. Okay, the earth, the feminine, the sun, the masculine. And then the moon is the masculine and feminine combined, the third energy that they create. There's a transformation. Now, very powerful soulmates are. Otherwise, why would Zeus feel so threatened, even though he'd say that we wasn't a threat? Power couples it comes to. Power couples. The resurrection. So I'm going to say it's the Queen of Wands energy, because I said that who's coming, who's going to be the other side of the magician. And it's, at the moment, I'm going to say that we're at this point where the Queen of Wands is aware of the soulmate connection and how energetically they will find each other. That's just with the Queen of Wands. She's very mystical. She's aware. And she's not afraid. Queen of Wands is spiritually aware. Now we have the magician. This is the universe. As above, so below. I think this is bringing things back to order. Now, I'm going to say the Queen of Wands being the Divine Feminine's energy, because I think this really is going to help understand what's kind of going on. The energetic pull that's happening. Or you could just think that I'm crazy, but I don't mind either way. I'm good with it. Okay, so we have the divine feminine here is very aware and has gone within. So not allowing anything to really budge, which means that it's very aware that there is a counterpart. These blotches are really like, what could they be? Waiting. Okay, this is kind of like following divine guidance, going with him. It's kind of like that. Doesn't matter, I know my truth. Now we have the Emperor. That will be the divine masculine, but he is stubborn. And we're all very aware that the feminines, the divine feminines, are aware of this connection. It's like we've had the calling, we've had the awakening. But now, obviously, if soulmates are going to come together, the masculine energy has to come to an awakening somehow. But it looks like here, the Hermit, that's what's happening. I think the divine masculine is now becoming aware. I'm not sure why I have to come on and explain soulmates in such detail as I can. It's one of my favourite topics. I think I've always felt since always that there's just been a part of me missing. Craving, yearning, feeling you're a bit of a loner, wondering what's the point of it all. And it states that because we all have one. We all have one. It wasn't select. All humans were split in half. And it mentioned about the karma along the way. If we're not aware of it, but we have this yearning, some people are open to the yearning, especially the feminine energy. It's love. It's the ultimate love. It's unity. It's feeling whole. But the masculine's different. It's a different story. Okay. We have the Hierophant. This is all divinely directed. And we're coming up a lot against a lot of challenges, which will be fear, because of the power of the masculine and feminine coming together. That will create, got a bit of hair sticking out there, the power couple. The masculine's here off to the 2. It takes for what happens when one half wakes up. We have to ask ourselves this. What happens? How is this all going to play out? Because I can see if this wholeness before the split, let's call it that, was capable of taking over the gods. We were then made to serve, like our power was taken away from us. That's our birthright, isn't it? And there was a fear there from Zeus. Anyway, so what happens when this comes back? Who do we challenge then? And that's why we talk about these power couples being influential world leaders. Gets you thinking, doesn't it? And then you can understand why there's such a strong force that's trying to stop these two from... If Zeus was threatened, the darker energies, fear, everything's going to try and it's like the strongest of the strong. That's what I want to say. The strongest of the strong will come through, and then it will be a new template. It will be the new example. And that's why now there's such this big collective. It's not going to take 1 or 2 soulmates coming together. That's why they talk about the 144,000. It's a number impact. It's a mission. Aeroplane coming in. See? It's a mission. There's purpose behind it for each and every one of us. It's like taking back our power. Okay. So, let's get a Greek mythology card. Let's see then what's going on, because I'm really quite intrigued within these gods now. It's 11:33 now. Eros, desire. Okay. The universe is really saying it has been working on, I'm going to say the counterparts, okay, for a long time now. Feminines, I think the feminine's energy, remember it. Okay, it doesn't matter really, you have that within, so the feminine energy. But if the masculine and feminine have actually met and you united at some point, it's triggered that third energy. So there's the realization that you have a counterpart. But because you've never felt it with another person, it can't be real. But there's only that one person, isn't there, that you were split from. This card describes the pleasure of sexual attraction and yearning. Eros was one of the first entities to be brought into being as procreation. I hate it when they split these words up, as if not hard enough anyway, but okay. Without Eros was one of the first entities to be brought into being. A procreation requires the desire for lovemaking, and the world could not be populated without the hot flames of amorous lust. It seems that the matter you are considering is likely to contain an intense craving or sexual magnetism, and therefore things could get very steamy if those involved feel so inclined. Equally, this may be a time to be a little flirtatious and alluring so that you draw whomever you desire to you. Okay, so there's something in this about it's time to be flirtatious and alluring. I'm going to pull some romance angels, so be interested in what comes up. So that you draw whomever you desire to you. I was saying about how do you then, if you feel, and I work with people and speak with people that have never had the contact with their soulmates. They don't actually know who it is, but they feel them. They know their location and they sense that they're around. It's very fascinating to watch how many different angles the universe will help you to reconnect with your counterpart. Passion is a primordial driving force that is as old as the creation itself, and this card represents a feeling that has stimulated humans since time began. However, if you are not in a position to have this energy play out in a physical way at the moment, this card may still represent powerful intensity and great passion which could be unleashed to create your heart's desire. So that there is saying to me, feminines are feeling it, the feminine energy. The masculines, however, if you're not in a position to have this energy play out in a physical way, can come as a bit of a shock. It can kind of be like, well, okay then, that's fine, I found my counterpart, but what happens about all the other stuff I've done on the way to kind of being pulled here? It's karma. So even though there's a realisation, that doesn't mean that it's easy and that you just come together and there's a happily ever after. There's other stuff that's happened. But if you're awakening to soulmate relationship and you believe that you do have a counterpart, it's kind of like this lifetime then. And it may help you understand what's actually going on. And I think that's why we need to get on, and well, I need to get on and maybe explain things in a different way. Okay. So, however, if you are not in a position to have this energy play out in a physical way at the moment, this card may still represent powerful intensity and great passion, which could be unleashed to create your heart's desire. Is this person coming into my knock on my door? No, just a letterbox. I could hear a machine's parcel, but it's gone through the letterbox. Okay. Interesting. I spoke the other day about True Love's Kiss. Psyche revived by Cupid's kiss. Antonio Canova. Look at that there. Okay. What do we do now with this? I need to really go away and sort my nails out. A bit brittle. They seem to be breaking and chipping and okay, falling apart. What do we talk about now then? How do we so we have this, I'm hoping we're getting some kind of understanding regarding soulmates and what's happening. No understanding about my top though. That is really annoying me because I would actually really want to go and change it. Looks like it's a bit tie-dyed. What is that? Has it got worse over the... Should we pull another Greek mythology card? Oh, we'll have a few. Fear, fortune, journey. It's the pronunciations that... I'll get over it. Can't say your name. Say my name, say my name. What's this person's name? Typhosius? Gaia gave birth to Typhosius, a terrifying monster who was taller than a mountain and whose limbs were never still. He was so ferocious, the gods and goddesses of Olympus were seized with fear and fled to Egypt. Okay, so the god and goddesses, I'm just trying to put it together as we actually speak here, because I feel like we're taking down Zeus. It's like we're rebelling. I think he did put a threat on, didn't he, that if we rebelled, he would cut off one of our limbs or legs. And how dare we? Okay. But that's his fear, isn't it? That's what happens. That's what I say. So he was so ferocious that the gods and goddesses of Olympus were seized with fear and fled to Egypt. And so it can sometimes feel when we have worry in our lives. It can make us toss and turn at night and cause us to lose the will to fight. If you have chosen this card, it might mean that you face some great fear, but there is good news on the horizon. For Typhosius was eventually great. Great, it's not good because Zeus is coming up. So for Typhosius was eventually crushed by Zeus, proving that confidence and determination will win in the end. So fear is often a symptom of misunderstanding or lack of knowledge. Things can seem much worse when they are shrouded in darkness. Investigate and get more information to shed light and comprehension. Try and use the strength of your will to overcome your worries. Imagine yourself as Zeus, conquering the monster Typhus, and in time, you will conquer your fear. I mean, well, we're more powerful than Zeus. It says try and use your strength of your will to overcome your worries. Imagine yourself as Zeus conquering the monster. Well, we're really more powerful than Zeus. I mean, he had to get everyone involved really to keep us humans under control. So I think that fear is unnecessary. If they're asking you to imagine you had the power of Zeus, I'd rather just imagine I have the power of myself in a visual form, because that's more powerful than Zeus by what I can make out. Otherwise, Zeus would have used us, not abused us. I'm not happy with Zeus at the minute. Okay. Fortune. How do you pronounce this? Tai Chi. Tai Chi. We've got Hermes next on a journey. Okay, Tai Chi. Tai Chi was the goddess of fortune, and you can call on her now to bring you the luck or prosperity you need. It was said in ancient Greece that It was said in ancient Greece that with Tai Chi on your side, you could outstrip the achievements of those who were stronger or more able than yourself. With her on your side, so I'm going to say this is the feminine's energy, okay? So to have the feminine energy on your side, on your masculine side, could outstrip the achievements of those who are stronger or more able than yourself. Stronger together than apart. Strong apart, the awakened, most definitely. Strong apart, stronger together. For instance, if you are applying for a job and Tai Chi approves it, then you may be chosen above the more obvious candidates. One writer described how Tai Chi could give light to darkness and a way forward when things have reached an impasse or become stuck. If Tai Chi chose to sit aboard a sailing ship, then it would be preserved and not smashed on the rocks. It was said that if she had a hand on the rudder, it would be guided safely. Rich abundance was hers to award if she saw fit. Okay, so feminine energy, understanding that there's just the one counterpart, be rewarded if she saw fit. So understanding the connection. So that's interesting because it's like the feminine energy is completely safe. We have the fear, we've got the desire, we've got the fear. Okay, thank you very much. So it says here, you now have fortune on your side, so you can reach for the equivalent of Aladdin's lamp and make your wishes. Good luck should come as a result, for you are now blessed with hope and opportunity. Right, let's have a look at Hermes' journey. The ancient Greeks revered Hermes for his support on journeys. He was the god of travellers, whose image could be found at crossroads, where he could bless the journey and safeguard the commercial traveller. You can see his statue on this card. He protected human mankind and facilitated transactions and exchanges of all kinds, including those into and out of the underworld. Hermes also carried messages from Zeus and was known for his persuasive words and willingness to help. Where there is movement or a need to connect, Hermes will facilitate, and he wears winged sandals to speed things up. You may be about to take a journey which Hermes will help you on. It could be a mental exploration or a physical one. We can learn by travelling or learn by inquiring and seeking information. Hermes will facilitate any of these things. Perhaps even Zeus himself is sending you a message which you can receive if you look out for signs. So, I'm thinking, why is Zeus sending us messages? There was a point I read that he actually felt quite guilty, I'm going to say, because he could see that he was destroying, which means there'll be nobody left to serve. And actually soulmates will serve. They will show the way, which comes in with Hermes. So the masculine will be the support, I want to say, for people on this journey, which would make sense because the feminine's more into the ideas and spirituality, and masculines, we're very aware that the masculines operate down here. It's a very manly world, okay? And even in this book here, I'm actually gonna touch on this book that I haven't, and it will make sense. But it's like we understand that as feminines, it's the masculines, when they know the way, they will then show the way, explain it. So he was the god of travellers whose image could be found at crossroads. So when people are at a crossroads, it's as if Hermes will then lead, which will come with the emperor. It will come with knowing the truth and being able to guide people. And it will come with, and that was the role, because it was divinely instructed. And it seems for some reason Zeus, I said I wasn't very happy with Zeus, but it seems that Zeus is trying to get this message back. I think he understands that what's happening is more damaging. It's like the lessons learned. Okay, but the lesson was about pride. So, So he was a god of travellers whose image could be found at crossroads, where he could bless the journey and safeguard the commercial traveller. You can see his statue on the card, leading people in the right direction. But it's like, but protected by the feminine energy. Very interesting reading today. Oh, this flipped over. What was showing? The feminine. The High Priestess. It's like the feminine accompanies the masculine on his journey, rather than actually her being like the queen. She's kind of like, she's the other half, isn't she? It's like the support network. But let me read this, because what I was I wanted to have a look at this part I found in here, and it's Greek girls and women. It was only the men in Athens who took part in government. The girls and women spent their time in weaving and cooking and looking after the men. They were given very little schooling. In the house, they had special rooms for themselves and usually ate their food after the men had finished their meals. But all the same, they had a busy, happy life. They went to the markets and to the theatres. Women could own property and even set up in business, but most of them preferred to look after their homes and see that the family were well dressed in homemade clothes, that the food was always good and the house always bright and clean. They all made embroideries. Some were able to write poems. Their hope in life was to see their husbands famous in the council and their sons great warriors and good athletes. Some of the girls became singers and dancers or worked in the markets, but most of the working girls of ancient Athens were slaves, bought by traders or stolen from their homes by raiding parties of seamen. Okay. Where are we going with this? Let's get some romance angels. Oh, I see separation. Well, I can't see how that would be separation now, seeing as the counterparts are always have always been separated. But it looks like that there is a calling. It's going to be interesting to see how this pans out and the impact it will have. I've got Lily just laying on the floor here, and she's doing a dead pose on the back. Pulls up like this. Okay. Let's read it. It's about, I think, trying to get the message out there in a different way that's kind of comprehending this type of connection. Soulmate. You chose this card because you wonder if a certain person is your soulmate, and the answer is yes. As we all do, you have many soulmates, beings with whom you share a mystical soul connection and life path. Soulmates incarnate with the plan of coming together for mutual spiritual and personal growth. As you suspected, the person you're inquiring about is one of yours. That sense of familiarity and comfort you felt when you first met also indicates your soulmate bond. This card sometimes comes to those who ask, when will I meet my soulmate? Or will I ever meet my soulmate? As validation that this will occur. Many times this is a person whom you already know. Although romantic sparks didn't fly at first, you'll have another opportunity to explore passion together. Right. Okay. Make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. You received this card because some action steps on your part are necessary in order for your prayers about your love life to be answered. The angels have opened the doors for you, and now it's time for you to walk through them. The first thing that comes to mind with respect to taking action is a good starting place for you. When you ask for spiritual help, you always receive it. Often this help comes in the form of intuitive guidance, which consists of repetitive feelings and thoughts. You get the sense that you should do this or that. You receive this card as a nudge to actually take the action. You'll then receive the next piece of the puzzle, meaning another intuitive message about what to do. If you like, you can ask the angels to give you the motivation, courage, time, and energy to take those steps. Know that each one brings you closer upon the pathway to great love. It's the fear, I'm going to say, of the masculine's energy here. It said they would give you the energy. Okay. It's got cold. Make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. I said, how else would the universe let you know that this kind of connection existed? Especially if you're getting the call in now. Release your ex. It's time to clear your energy. Okay, I'm just going to read it. Let's have a look and see. This is the block. But it did state if you wasn't in a position. So there may be some more karma needs to be cleared out the way. But I imagine that hopefully this reading will be able to give you a explanation of what's going on. It also means that your ex has a soulmate of their own that may be trying to find them. Stopping each other from being with your true soulmate. I imagine at some point it will happen because you'll see the rest of the soulmates waking up, living, and I imagine that your yearning would just increase, both. If they're not your soulmate, they're somebody else's. I like looking at it like that. Aeroplane. You drew this card because your love life will improve once you emotionally and energetically release your ex-lover. The benefits of doing so include increased happiness, feelings of freedom, and the ability to attract a new lover who would otherwise sense the presence of your ex in your aura. You can't come together with your counterpart if you've still got somebody else you're hanging on to, or somebody that will block the connection. The moment you make the decision to let go of the past, it is done. There's got to be a reason why I'm putting this video out about soulmates, about Zeus, about this time right now. Sometimes this is akin to peeling layers from the onion, so continue releasing your ex whenever old familiar feelings arise or you find yourself attracting people reminiscent of him or her. As the painting on this card depicts, you may want to ceremonially burn a letter to release the old relationship energy and symbolically let go of old feelings. Or you can call upon the romance angels to clear lingering attachments to your ex. I'm not reading any more from here. Let's have a look at the bottom though. We're going to have to. Playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. Look at these two here playing. It did say that once obviously they come together, they just unite and are in this wholeness, this joy, this place of just love, freedom and joy. So, playfulness. Let's read it. The romance angels are cherubs who embody all things romantic and who have a happy, youthful sense of playfulness. They delight in the wonders of love and ask you to do the same. The angels want to help you fall back in love with life again by guiding you to enjoy yourself. This comes from a spirit of joy and adventure. The angels ask you, when was the last time you had fun? If you don't remember, then it's long overdue for you to add some playtime into your schedule. The angels say that fun is a necessity, not a luxury. The activity can be free of charge, such as exploring nature, auditioning for a local theatrical production, joining a community sports team, or trying something new. Playfulness is a good investment of your time, as it will renew your energy levels and elevate your mood. Playtime, don't know what's going to come out of my mouth, I kind of made a bit of a weird funny noise in my mouth then. So, playtime is essential in relationships too. To keep the free-spirited component of dating alive, plan regular date nights with your partner and take time. And I'm really congested. What's going on? I feel like somebody's crying. Okay. Playtime is essential in relationships too. To keep the free-spirited component of dating alive, plan regular date nights with your partner and take turns creatively planning fun activities such as miniature golf, karaoke, walking through a flower garden, or flying kites together. Shall we move on to a different pack? I'm staring at reconciliation here. I don't know what happened to my voice then, and what happened. Okay, reconciliation. This card indicates that an ex-lover may be re-entering your life. The first person you think of is likely who it will be. The purpose of this reconciliation is to achieve healing and closure with respect to your past. You will understand more about yourself and see your relationship patterns more clearly. You'll also take responsibility for the role you played in the relationship's drama, which will free you from the tyranny of unforgiveness. Sorry, I had a phone call coming through. I didn't turn my phone off, did I? Reconciliations are ultimately about taking care of unfinished business. This card could also possibly mean making peace with a family member or friend. Each relationship is a sacred learning experience, so be open to this reunion's lessons and blessings. Ultimately, all healings help your love life and every other part of your world. And it comes back to release your ex again. So, let's get some Archangel guidance. Now, who do we ask for a last message? Mother Mary or Rumi? Rumi. It's like we're dealing with the gods here, so I feel Rumi. But let's get some Archangel guidance first. It's like so many of us are quick to claim someone as being our soulmate without even understanding what the terminology means or what the actual, I don't know, the story is behind soulmates. All is well. Everything is happening exactly as it's supposed to, with hidden blessings you'll soon understand. Sometimes what appears to be a problem is actually an answer prayer in disguise. When we ask for help, heaven may dismantle the old to make room for the new. During this time of change, practice relaxation methods such as yoga, deep breathing, exercise and meditation. Ask me to make your transition smooth and harmonious for everyone involved. And know that this change is for the better. Working with Archangel Jeremiah, each Archangel has a specific aura colour. Jeremiah's is deep eggplant purple. When we see sparkles of dark purple light, this is one way to know that Jeremiah is with you. Each Archangel has a particular type of crystal aligned with their energy, and for Jeremiah, that crystal is amethyst. When you wear an amethyst, you may feel even closer to Jeremiah's kind and loving energy. I only have 2 crystals in my house. I know that I have the rose quartz that it asked for yesterday or the day before. I've been carrying that around and holding it, loving it. But I have another one. I don't think it's amethyst. Very bizarre. If it is, then that's like, I only have 2. I don't even know where they came from. I think my daughter, she does pick up things like this, like years ago. Okay. So, that'd be interesting. I know someone who can help me. They did tell me what they were, and that's why I knew that I had a rose quartz, because I don't actually have a clue what they are. So I'm going to check out to see what that other crystal is I have. But the colour's purple, the deep purple. I want to get a colour card. It's really interesting, isn't it? I think so. It's like it's all here, what I need. Always was. I don't know what's going on with the nails. Any woman would understand your nails can look absolutely beautiful and then all of a sudden they just, all of them break. And, okay. Let's get a colour card. I only pulled one Archangel Guidance. Well, I imagine we don't need any more. It said all is well. Yeah, okay, I get that. No unnecessary worry. That's brilliant, all is well. Auburn, ground yourself. Card number 11. Started this reading. I said it's 11-11, guys. Okay. That's 1/2, isn't it? Ground yourself, 1/2. Imagine the 11-11. And we can't read it. So we're going to have to... this book, I don't know, it's always been like it. I'm not the kind of person to send it back and complain. It's just like it's like it for a reason. Some of them we just don't have the meaning. We've got to find our own. So we've got card number 11, Auburn. Ground yourself. Get out to nature. We've been talking about this, and centre yourself. It's like centre yourself. You're going to be centering. I'm going to get another one though. Are we? Okay. Yeah. White, lighten up. 24. Brings us to that 6, which is harmony, love. Okay, are you in here, number 24? You are. Let's read this. White heals your body as a whole. Well, that's interesting because we've been talking about health. I've been talking about how one counterpart can feel the other counterpart's energy. I think we've been building up to this kind of now comprehending things. Still can't comprehend this t-shirt. What's going on? What are all these stains? They're not there. Lighten up. It's a feather on there, if you can see it. Oh, that's perfect. I'm going to hold it there. White heals your body as a whole, clearing toxicity and assisting with purification. White also enhances clarity and understanding and can be very helpful in healing skin problems. I could do with some of that. Bringing peace and comfort at the highest level. Oh, sorry, I'm bending it, look. Okay. Bringing peace and comfort at the highest level. White represents integrity, light, holiness, truth and surrender. Lighten up with white. Lighten up. The feeling of lightness is a magnificent experience. It encompasses innocence, purity and joy. White brings this faith that you are completely loved, taken care of and supported. Close your eyes and imagine that you are standing on the biggest, most magnificent white crystal mountain. I'm going to repeat this bit. Close your eyes and imagine that you are standing on the biggest, most magnificent white crystal mountain. Inhale deeply, allowing the clear white light emanating from this mountain to purify, energize, and enlighten you. Visualize yourself letting go of all the unnecessary baggage that you dragged up the mountain with you. How does it feel to be free of this baggage? Experience the ease in your body and soul as you look out from the mountain. Focus on circulating white light from the tips of your toes through your whole body. Feel your body softening and lightening up even more. You are getting ready to soar. Give yourself permission to soar. Say, I give myself permission to lighten up and experience ease in my body and soul. As the heart chakra in my window started, you'll be able to see the, imagine the rainbow, the kind of reflection at times. It started to tap against the window. Tap, tap, tap. Wake up. Okay. Excuse me, guys. I'm going to do a journey of love. And then a roomie. I don't want the boxes on the table. I'm singing in my head because we'll be going local down in Acapulco if you stay too long. Yes, we'll be going local down in Acapulco. The magic down there is so strong. Earth Angel. Card 54. Sorry, that was by the microphone. I do try not to bang about too much on the table. Earth Angel, here's the poem. Earth Angel, you carry the world in your robes and heaven in your hair. You bring me a special gift now, responding to my prayer. Though sometimes I may feel that I am struggling or alone, you come to me now and carry me into my heart. You bring me home. Even from the darkest depths, I rise up to meet your light. I cannot be separated from the divine. I cannot be separated from the light. This oracle brings a message of divine guidance. You have an angel with you, watching over you and assisting you in response to your heart's call for help, love and protection for you and your beloveds. Your prayers have been heard and answered. Keep praying each day from your heart and know you are safely carried on the journey of love. If you have been worrying about a loved one, know that this protection extends to them as well. You are asked to pray more and worry less, allowing love to be. There's another poem. Thank you for walking. Okay, let's get this out. Do you want to talk? Talk. Talk, woman. Okay. Thank you for walking with me. Before you climbed up here, I was afraid. I had risked everything by holding out my hand, and now, as I share your joy and excitement at being a friend, I realise I may have to run to catch up with you. That's definitely the masculine's energy towards the feminine's energy. I want to get another one. I felt like 2 wanted to come out anyway, but there it is. Oh, we've got Fall in the game. I believe that's Falling. This card keeps coming up for the masculine's energy. So, let's read Falling. Don't worry. You may fear you are falling, but it's just your soul diving deeper into the ocean of bliss. Are you sensing parts of your life flying away from you, out of your control, as the momentum of your divine surrender takes over and becomes more powerful than the old adhesive between you and what no longer serves? That's interesting, the old adhesive, as if you're trying to make something fit, where this is a perfect fit. It's a yin yang, it's harmony, it just slots into place, no glue. No trying to make it fit, it just fits. Let's go back. Are you sensing parts of your life flying away from you, out of your control, as the momentum of your divine surrender takes over and becomes more powerful than the old adhesive between you and what no longer serves. Laugh, cry, celebrate and ponder, whether it makes sense or not. You are like a perfectly ripe fruit falling from the universal tree, succulent and ready to be enjoyed for all that you are. If you wait any longer, this moment will be lost and you'll end up on the ground, having to decay and go to seed in order to start the whole process again. This is not so bad, but what a shame if your sweet nectar was not to be savoured by a hungry world. You deserve to be declared the most delicious, juicy fruit that ever was. You'll end up exactly where you are meant to be. And I want to say this lifetime. You can go back. You can choose not to, like I said, past lives, coming back, not going for it. Next lifetime, it will all happen again. Until there's that point when it is the lifetime that you do. So it's like, okay, you can choose not to do it, but that just means you come back and you do it all again. Any lessons, any karma that you do not clear up in this lifetime will be carried forth. It's easier not to run away from our fears, and it's easier to actually enjoy this lifetime now. Okay. Just a different way of looking at it. There's no right or wrong way, it's just the way that you choose, the way that resonates with you, the way that feels right. It's just a different understanding. So, this oracle contains a message for you. You are being called closer into divine union and into the fulfillment of your destiny now. It's safe for you to trust what is happening. Go with it. It might seem that you are being asked to take a leap of faith. It's the right timing for that. It's your time to give yourself in love without holding back anything of yourself. Okay, so Falling is the poem. Is it wrong to love? To feel what I hold inside? The answer must wait. Right, so let's end on this Rumi message. Otherwise, it just ends up trying to be like a convincing session of whether soulmates exist or not, whether this type of connection exists. It's just, you just know if it does. It's a knowing. So, okay. Let's end on a Rumi message. This one, I think this one just wants to keep coming out. I don't know if it's the same one, but felt like the same place in the deck. I've got coffee. No coffee. A little bit of coffee, like one little dribble's worth. Sacred Soul Sister. 37. Hey, soul sister, I ain't gonna miss a single thing you do tonight. Right. 37 brings us to that. I've really got this glare here, haven't I? So I'm going to have to... Oh, no, it hurts my arm. Back. Can we come back a bit today? Yeah. Here's the poem. When you are conscious, a cloud of sadness surrounds you. When you are beyond consciousness, the moon rests in your arms. This is like just... I'm not really getting this very good, am I? I can't hold it that angle. When you are conscious, the beloved moves out of your reach. When you are beyond consciousness, the ecstasy of love moves your way. When you are conscious, you are depressed, like fall. When you are beyond consciousness, the winter cold feels like spring. All your wavering is due to your longing to be stable. If you've been split, you might not be stable. You're not very balanced, are you? Look for instability until you become stable. I love you. I am your other half. I am with you always, your partner on this soul journey. I am the you that you do not see. I am the you that speaks through intuition and instinct. I whisper and sing and shout my crazed truth-telling at you through your dreams, through your body. I am the you that is wise. that trusts in life, that knows. I am the you that sees reality rather than appearance. I am the you that knows how to be happy and free. That's beautiful. Okay. Oh. Here we go. Here's a valid point of view, okay? There is a valid point of view that we travel this path of our life journey alone. Our deepest descents into the psyche happen alone. We meet death alone and come into the world alone. And yet there is a vaster perspective that we are never alone, that it would be impossible to really be alone. We are connected to all of life, and there is no such thing as being alone in reality, only in limited and temporary perception. As if such community were not enough, there is a partner, an ally who journeys with you from birth to death and beyond again and again. You have a sacred sister, the sister of your soul. She weaves the stories of truth through dreams and insights that come upon you as if from nowhere. Perhaps they drop into your mind or seem to erupt from within you. But that is her talking to you, demanding or reassuring, depending on what the occasion best calls for at that moment. Her truths may seem overly dramatic, so you may discount them as workings of an overactive imagination, or perhaps her truth tales are so subtle you dismiss them as meaningless, fleeting fancy. The wise ones know, however, that the truths of the sacred soul sister are powerful, relevant and worthy of time and attention. They know her oftentimes strange and startling offerings hold the keys to unlock entire worlds, to open up new realities, and to transform the nature of our existence from the deepest and most esoteric spiritual levels. Isn't that plane coming in quickly? To the most palpable, practical, daily realities of our living bodies in the physical world. I have to read that bit again now. They know her oftentimes strange and startling offerings hold the keys to unlock entire worlds, to open up new realities, and to transform the nature of our existence from the deepest and most esoteric spiritual levels to the most palpable, practical, daily realities of our living bodies in the physical world. Your sacred soul sister is your partner in consciousness. Make no mistake, she is you. She is just the part of you so great you cannot always see her from your conscious mind. It is sort of like the eye of the dog trying to see its whole self, which is a bit tricky. For as it moves to see its rear, so the rear is moved along too. So rather than through direct perception, the sacred soul sister is met through reflection. She can be received in those moments of rest where great ideas are born. She is a genius, you see, vastly creative and inspired. Her worlds are those we access in sleep and meditation, or absorbing engagement in activity where the mind can relax and drop into realities far more vast than those of daily life and be replenished. To tap into her wisdom, to distill a teaching from the fragmented memory of a dream or a subtle feeling experienced in meditation requires that you walk with her gait and not the fast pace. It's when you're trotting, isn't it? When you're gait. Is it called gait? G-A-I-T. Yeah. And not the fast-paced, forward-moving centre of your conscious and intellectual mind. How do you pronounce this? I want to say gate. I'm going to have to Google it because it comes up again. I'm interrupting the reading. I don't really care. Oh, what's it again? Sorry. Gate. Yeah. Oh, do you want to know what it means? Well, we've got it here. A person's manner of walking. Walk, step, stride, pace, tread. The pattern of steps of a horse or dog at a particular speed. Thank you. Gait, I was right. Let's go back. To tap into her wisdom, to distill a teaching from the fragmented memory of a dream or a subtle feeling experienced in meditation, requires that you walk with her gait, and not the fast-paced, forward-moving canter of your conscious and intellectual mind. Her gait is meandering, and apparently unstudied. Yet she is in deep concentration to feel the truth of movement, to allow for what is emerging to express itself through her. And she is listening rather than demanding to know, to force, to speak and to direct. To receive her genius and benefit most fully from it requires a willingness to surrender logic and open up to inspiration, to become empty, to let the mind soften and become receptive, open and permeable. She delivers questions that lead to answers, but not according to demands issued by an insecure and fearful mind. She offers what is genuinely needed. Answers the deepest questions of the heart. She is trustworthy, this sister. She cannot betray truth, therefore she can be relied upon as a faithful way shower for the heart. So to commune with her, wise as that impulse is, requires that you learn the ways of her world and the strange symbolic language she speaks. She will never tell you what you already know. Why be so inefficient? No, she prefers to educate, elucidate, intrigue, and beguile as you are drawn into far more beautiful, powerful, and helpful truths. So in her world, and in her language, you must suspend your need to immediately understand. Let yourself absorb the imagery, the feelings, and the possibilities. To dwell. I'm really like fucking this up. Okay. Let yourself absorb the imagery, the feelings, and the possibilities. To dwell, ponder, and be permeated by the wisdom. Permeated. I swear I'll come up with these words. There's so many words in the dictionary, isn't there? Okay. Sorry, I'm just going into my own frustration about why I don't know how to pronounce every word that's on the planet. But hey, that's how it is, isn't it? Got to find where I was now, guys. The appearance of a horse may signify your own spiritual being, and the appearance of you may signify a false sense of identity and not the real you at all. You may see desert landscapes and moonlit nights in your dreams. When so much inner growth is happening, you will soon bloom like springtime. You may dream of charging up hills with great energy, when in your physical world you can barely muster enough strength to get out of bed in the morning. What does this all mean? This apparent contrary, world upside down, nothing as it seems symbolism. The meaning is the communication, and the communication is received in repose, in reflection, in quietness and rest. And you must trust her and trust yourself. When something needs to be known, so it shall be. This is necessary, so much less than what we expect. Your lack of knowing is not ignorance. Your unknowingness is your bowing to life with trust. She has come to you through this oracle to remind you that everything is all right, that she has your back, no matter what appearances may seem to be, to your more limited dog's eye consciousness in the light of day. She is guiding you with her wilder knowledge through circumstances and situations that are ultimately going to free you into a greater love than you have ever known, no matter whether you feel like a rat in a maze or a bewildered drunk stumbling through labyrinth-back alleyways, trying to find your way home again. No matter how out of control life may seem, she's letting you know all is proceeding just as it should, and that her will shall manifest. Her will is your wholeness, your completion. Her will must manifest and shall, because she will, because her will is nature. It's growth, it is growth, it is God, she is God in you now. Remember that you'll realise, if you don't mind the ending being told before the last chapter, that everything's going to be okay. Keeps mentioning about that, the dog, okay? Spell that backwards, see what you get. With you all the time. Man's best friend. This is definitely for masculine regarding the feminine's energy. The masculine soulmate. Okay. This oracle comes with particular guidance also. You know something deep in your bones, without knowing how or why, or without particular reason. You just know. It doesn't make sense, but you know. It may be joy that you know. It may be that you know to avoid a certain situation. It may be that something is going to work out beautifully, despite appearances to the contrary at a particular moment. It may be that you are meant to take a certain path. You just know. This oracle comes as confirmation that your knowing, mysterious as it is your sacred soul sister talking through you. Trust it and act or not accordingly. Okay, here's the sacred honouring ritual. Kneel or sit comfortably, preferably on the ground or somewhere you feel grounded and anchored to the earth. Meaning of this card, isn't it? It does say that could be on the floor if practical. Okay, so let's kneel or sit comfortably, preferably on the ground or somewhere you feel grounded and anchored on the earth. That could be on the floor if practical. Rest your hands on the ground or on your legs. Say aloud, I call upon the sacred sister of my soul, the shadow priestess of wisdom in the temple of love. You guide me to love, and under the merciful grace and protection of Rumi, who loves me unconditionally, our relationship is one of respect, care, and divine guidance. May I be blessed with receptivity to your genius and capacity for the grace of growth. So be it. Rest for a few moments. You have finished your ritual. Wow! And there you have a soulmate reading. 1 hour, 23 minutes. Okay, guys, I'm going to go. I'm going to leave that with you. The message has been sent. I knew I had to kind of talk about it or address it at some point, and maybe just try in a different way, just for more of a deeper understanding of connections like this and what they truly mean. Okay, I'm going. I'll catch up with you soon. Have a fantastic day, guys. Bye for now.